Hello again. I have another message. So, when I was a little girl, my mom would give me these Bible story books, right? And I had this little record player, a tiny little record player. I was just a little kid, and I would read these stories, and they had like a little record that I could take out of the book and then put onto the little record player, and I would just listen to the story, listen to the audio. I liked all the stories, all the books, and I would go over them again and again and again. But there was one that I was just like, that's crazy. That's a silly idea. That's a silly story, and I had no interest in. And that's the story of Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, right? And they're thrown into the furnace, into the fire, and somehow they make it out of this fire. And just because of their faith, right? And I thought that was the craziest story. That was like my least favorite Bible story as a kid. But now that I'm old, that is my favorite story. Because I've had my own experiences, and I think a lot of adults can relate actually to the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And, I've had experiences, especially with work and other places, where I go into a situation with people, like a whole group of people, like 20 people, right? And they don't agree with me, or they have preconceived notions of how they think I am, maybe because I'm from the Midwest or whatever, or maybe because I say that I'm a Christian and I write stories about faith or whatever, or make these videos. One time I went into a meeting with a bunch of people, and they had a preconceived notion of the kind of person I was. And so it was like kind of like a remedial retraining meeting where they were trying to convince me of their ideas. And I went in and I kind of knew how it was going to be. It was like being thrown into the furnace, right? And with these guys, they probably said, God, please help me. And then God came and stood in the furnace beside them, right? And they made it out of the furnace okay. So I go to this meeting with all these people that thought I was a certain kind of way, or I thought or believed a certain sort of way. And I go to this meeting and I listen to everybody. I listen to all their ideas. I had my comments. I'm temperate and loving in the entire meeting. And it was very uncomfortable and very awkward. But I came out of it on the other side, and I had learned some things about other people and how we can connect to each other and see the humanity in everyone, right? But that was a Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego experience. And so as an adult, I totally understand that story and I relate to that the most. It's just like Daniel in the lion's den, right? So he's forced into the lion's den, and all night he's stuck there. And the lions are prowling all around him, right? But God shuts the mouths of the lions and he doesn't get eaten. There's a lot of times when we're an adult where we're really, like, people will throw us into the fire. They'll throw us under the bus. They'll really do horrible things to us. And sometimes they'll throw us into the lion's den with really dangerous things going on. And somehow, in some way, we seem to make it out okay. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, right? So I just share this message because um, as an adult, these are the stories that I relate to most and that I love most from the Bible. And I was wondering about you, like, what are your favorite Bible stories? What were your favorite as a kid? And what do you believe most in now? What Bible stories as an adult do you feel have impacted your life the most and are most relatable? So thank you for listening to this message. God bless.